Welcome in. It is ATB Show, the ATB Show at the buzzer, atbshow.com. If you go to that link, you're going to find all the other links. Ultimately, live on YouTube every Wednesday to the best of our ability. And all the socials, Rubber Shoes, perfect product placement right behind his microphone. Never wants to steal anybody's thunder. All you can see is the logo, his right eyeball, and the stars and stripes. America. So Rubber Shoes live from the fire station. Timmy in beautiful downtown Portsmouth. Uncle Duke's live from beautiful downtown Maine. And before we get started, we always try to discuss what we're going to have for a cocktail we're on the show. Are you like Scotty's bringing me back? We used to always, when we had poorly named, by the way, not Modelo, great beer, but it makes me think of like fight nights, right? Chad's house, fight nights, Mohegan weekends. But we used to have a thing, and this is how comfortable we are with our manhood. We used to have a thing that we all did, the group of us that all work together in radio, we do man weekend.
Yes.
And now when I find myself telling that story out of context, they're like, what does this involve?
Yeah, it's not well named.
Yeah, we didn't spend that was the shortest marketing meeting we've ever had. Anyway, so you're going with Modelo to stay in the groove. I had a couple of treats in my fridge here at the office. I've got a boom sauce, which I want to get home tonight, so I'm leaving that there. Lord Hobo, we love, not a sponsor yet. I've also got those Maine blueberry things that I usually have. And what I've tripped over, not that I don't like Trulies, I do. Truly lemonades, personally, garbage. There's no flow to them. They're very, I don't know, there's a punch to them that's not great, ironically. Then there's the Truly punches, phenomenal. And what I've come to find out is I am enjoying the Truly margaritas. So I got the fun pack on the way into work this morning. I said that out loud. I got the fun pack on the way in, which is 4 different flavors. So we're going to enjoy and try out the strawberry hibiscus.
There you go.
Truly margarita. And I have another story to tell. I know you're shocked. Tim's still talking. You're damn right I am. So I'm gonna, also not a sponsor. I'm using my 12-inch skinny can from Yeti. There's a great thing, and you boys both golf, which I adore about you. There's a company called Frostbuddy. Have you seen this thing yet?
No.
Also not a sponsor. Frostbuddy makes an interchangeable Yeti. And if you're wondering what the background noise is, that is the action live from Rubber Shoes' office at the firehouse. Just want to make sure people don't think they're hearing things. So Frostbuddy, like you notice I just took this out of the inside of this, right? Because you can fit like an even smaller can in these things. So the Frostbuddy actually is like a Yeti that does all of the cans. Like you can put a Modelo in it, you can put a regular bottle in it, a 12-inch thin can, a regular 12-inch can.
I gotta go.
He's got to go. I love all of this.
Yes. Damn it. I want to know if it was a cat or a fire.
Well, what's amazing, and not that we can't do this. I didn't want to do it while we were in live action. I was like thinking I should mute him. Did he actually just mute himself? He did. He muted himself. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yep. He's here. He's still with us. And the fact that you and I, when he gets back in like 2 hours, still won't be talking about sports is the best part of the show, right? So anyway, that being said, so Scotty, it's called Frostbuddy. If you look it up,
I'm looking at it right now. Look at the.
Well,
actually,
you're gonna love this
for Rubber Shoes because literally the first one is America. You know what I mean? There's like.
I have one that's not on the website anymore. I got my Frostbuddy, the original. You'll notice on the website now they have a 2.0.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
The original one I have is just got like a golf ball on it. It's a golf logo. Yeah, it's like a cartoony golf logo, and I'm like, that's perfect. It stays in my trunk, and it's great because you put it in your cart, and then when the cart girl comes up, whatever you get is going to fit inside that thing. And the best part is when she rolls up and you get 2, you put the one you're going to drink next in the Frostbuddy to keep it cold while you cruise the other one. Because if anybody needs birdie juice, I do. Never works, doesn't matter. I stay hydrated. It was very hot this weekend. So if you look on that website right now, Scotty, scroll all the way to the bottom. There is a special one that makes a donation to Autism Speaks. There's an autism one, which I was going to try to order in time to make sure I had it for this past weekend because we just played in the 18 for Autism over in Somersworth. And yeah, super. I love them, and I still have all my Yetis, and I love my Yetis, and I have a whole desk full of them for all the different sizes, and I have a whole bunch at home as well. That Frostbuddy is brilliant. And Yeti and like Arctic are never going to make anything like that because it would kill their entire line of business, right? They want you to have all 48 different containers. But it's a really brilliant product if you're still not a sponsor, but we're going to throw out some love to them anyway because they're supporting autism. It's called Frost Buddy. Super good. But anyway, so I'm going with the watermelon hibiscus. Stand by. Not sure. I don't know. Yeah, it's like a Jolly Rancher coming out of a bad relationship. That's all I can give you right now. I'm not really sure what's happening right now. Not really sure.
Yeah.
Anyway. So we had Rubber Shoes. He'll be back. Uncle Dukes is here. Timmy's here. We are down a couple of soldiers, but we've got a lot to talk about. The Red Sox obviously making some moves. The most notable is being the catcher, of course. We'll talk about that. Patriots, the beauty is, I was just talking to somebody today at the office about the window of, I remember thinking to myself, just knowing, because I'm not going to be that far off with my 83 wins, knowing we had a long summer ahead of us with the local 9, that the window between the Celtics losing, because the Bruins were out first, then the Celtics losing, and the Patriots starting was going to feel like forever. And it's next week.
Yeah.
We get the Raiders, right? The Raiders next week for preseason, I think.
Yeah, the Raiders. No, Giants are first.
Oh, the Giants first? Okay. But
Giants
nonetheless, I think it's next Thursday we get started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So the Patriots are on the way. And of course, probably the greatest team player, the greatest... And one of the things that I love about him most, the great Bill Russell, is he was always a Celtic.
Yeah, he always was. Well, he for a player, I mean, he coached numerous teams, right? But from a player perspective, yeah, he was always the Celtic. And there was I got a couple of stories here about Bill, and one of them was there was a right around the corner from one of the apartments I lived in downtown Dover. There was a bookstore. And the owner of that bookstore actually was close friends with Bill Russell. And he would tell me all sorts of different stories about him and like how much of like just a gentle soul. And that's something that you hear like a lot about, right? So, usually there's not a lot of, ill will spoken about the dead when someone, famous passes away, right?
Sure.
But it does happen every once in a while. Someone dies and, I didn't hear anything but like some just absolutely amazing things from everybody that came out to kind of celebrate it, even to the point where Magic Johnson said that Adam Silver should retire the number 6 throughout the entire NBA. And I'm totally on board with that. I think that's
amazing. That'd be amazing. Yeah.
That'd be great. But one of the things that, I remember talking.
Where is Bronny right now? Is he 6 or 23? I've lost. Is Bronny 6 right now?
God, I think he's 23.
Is he 23? I wasn't sure if he switched back or okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I think he's 23 in LA.
I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. I don't think anybody would have a problem with it. And just just like I think, and it's rarefied air. I think just like they do Jackie Robinson Day, and everybody wears 42.
Mm-hmm. That would be amazing.
Or I shouldn't say in a game that doesn't matter because that's not where I was headed with my heart. But like every time in the All-Star game, everyone wears 6.
I agreed.
Because it's just it's nobody's like trying to keep track really. It's a slam dunk festival. They wear ridiculous colors and it's a celebration of the sport. And at every All-Star game, everybody on the court just wears 6 with their names on the back. And it's the most identifiable sport, right?
Right.
Facially, you have the most exposure of any sport in basketball. So I think if everybody wore 6, and if they did it, when's his birthday? There's a great question.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, do they try to make Bill Russell Day and just like they have a Jackie Robinson Day? I don't know. There's whatever they do to honor him, there's going to be no wrong answer. They could do both of those things.
February 12th, so it's actually during the season. February 12th.
It's close to the All-Star break too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Perfect. Adam Silver, call me. I'll get you a hibiscus watermelon margarita. We'll talk. We'll talk about hair care products too. I feel like that's going to be a quick conversation between Adam and I will talk about pomade. Yeah.
But one of the things that Russell always said too was that he was such an ambassador for basketball, but for so many things as well. Mm-hmm. But one of the things it's funny is that you can't find an autograph for Bill Russell. Do you know why? He never gave them. And the reason why, and he always said this, was If someone came up to him after the game and said, "Hey, I'd love to get an autograph for you," he would say, "How about a conversation for 10 to 15 minutes instead?" And typically people would almost like he would say like 90% of the time, to 100 people like, "Oh my God, yeah, absolutely, I'd love to have a conversation." Because he said anybody that says no to that was going to go ahead and sell that autograph anyway. So it's just so phenomenal,
Right.
and he meant it though. That's the thing. Like if someone asked for an autograph, he legitimately meant like, "Hey, let's talk." And that was one of the things that this store owner would talked about. That's how it started. Their relationship started that way, where he
That's
asked for an
unreal.
autograph, and he said, "No, let's chat for a little bit." Well, that chat ended up lasting 30 years or something like that. They've been talking,
Sure.
they've been talking for the longest time. And absolutely phenomenal human being, trailblazer in so many different ways. And just, it's, I think, no one's shocked by that it happened because he was what, like
94,
90,
right?
95, 94 years old,
94,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But, it's still one of those things where it's just, it sucks. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys where you look back, you're like, oh man, that's too bad. Not to hear that smile or hear that laugh and see that smile again, it is too bad. I mean, the greatest winner, as you mentioned before, in team sports, I think, and it's actually funny that Billy's not here. There's a Canadians player that also has 11 championships, and I would love to know. I can't remember his name, but if he did it in the same kind of span that Russell did, because Russell won 11 in 13 years. You know what I mean? Like he didn't mess around. And if you look at his numbers, even going back from like high school and college, and obviously he also won Olympic gold medal as well.
Yep.
There was a run there that he went on where the guy just barely lost. He just did not lose in the moments that it counted. So
I just
tragic
actually,
thing.
I just,
I'm wearing the
as you,
jersey today. It's not a Russell jersey, but going the wrong way with it. There we go. But
yeah, perfect.
yeah.
I was just going to say, as soon as we settled on 94, I'm like, no, it was 88.
It was 88.
Because Vin Scully passed away at 94. That just happened
That's
yesterday.
what it was.
Yeah, yeah. Bill was 88. Yeah, what if so here's the aftermath of him passing. His initials are going to be on the unis this year.
Oh yeah.
The added pressure of get it done is, yeah, and I don't know what they might do in relation. I know it's Red Auerbach Court. They're not going to do anything on the court necessarily, but they'll figure something out. They'll figure something out.
They'll do something for sure, and they should. I mean, they already, like, the NBA has honored him. They've named the MVP of the championship of the NBA Finals Bill Russell. Right, it's the Bill Russell Award. It's been like that since like 2009 or something, like 2000 or something like that. So I think that's perfect. And I know their Celtics will do something. Speaking of the Celtics, they actually did do something. They actually made it a roster move. They added Noah Vonleh. Who's he's a center, used to play for the Knicks. He kind of got banged up. He was like an undrafted player, but really good, talented, young player that, he had got hurt and kind of like lost minutes, but he's a scrapper. Celtics fans, if he makes the team, Celtics fans are really going to love him. So that was actually a decent move for the Celtics this past week. But speaking of moves, the Red Sox made a flurry. So I can get a lot of them. I'm like I don't. I think we all kind of went into this trade deadline like we talked about it before. We need pitching. That they need pitching.
Sure.
And they didn't make any moves for any pitchers, like at all. So I actually quickly jotted them down. Obviously, the first moves they made on the first, so on Monday, was they traded for Tommy Pham. Who actually played last night and went 1-for-4 against the Astros. They won. He's a solid player.
He definitely had his hit, and then he had a run scored, right?
Yep.
And of course, I was attracted to him because of the 22.
Right, exactly.
Like, I like his number. I'm happy about that. The
thing is, too, and everyone's talking too, is that everyone's basically anticipating like Jackie Bradley Jr. is going to be in a pure bench role at this point. So Tommy's going to play a ton. So these moves, these guys, you're going to see these guys a lot. Cora came out today, talked about, which we'll get to, the Eric Hosmer move. Hosmer's going to play a ton. Bobby Dahlbeck your days of everyday player. They're pretty
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
But then they made the most questionable move out of all, which is the Vasquez one, where they traded him to Houston for Emmanuel Valdez and Willer Abreu, and I don't get it. I don't get it. And they did make the move to get Reese McGuire, but he's not all that great. I mean, Jake Diekman wasn't that great either as a left-handed pitcher in the bullpen. But again, they just lost another pitcher. I mean, his ERA was at 4.30. You know what I mean? So he's not great. McGuire's not great, but they haven't. I'm still waiting to see if they're going to option up or recall Connor Wong. I'm assuming they're going to at some point.
Yep.
If, to bring him up, because that's the only thing I could think of why they got rid of, to me, one of the most important clubhouse guys, on the team, in Christian Vasquez. He was
wasn't he not the he was the most tenured player on the team, right?
Say again.
He was the most tenured player on the team, I think.
No, Xander is.
Is Xander the most tenured? Okay.
Yep. I still remember with Xander wearing like a 71 back in like 2013 when he was like, running around the bases or whatever during the World Series. But yeah, Xander right now is the longest tenured one.
Okay. And I guess I just was talking to somebody about this today, and you could say it's a foolish question. That's why I'm here. Welcome. Do you think it's more heartbreaking? Would you rather be told, Scotty, we got a car ready for you. You got to get you over to the airport. You're heading to Toronto, or I need you to walk across the field. Like, what's worse? What's worse?
It's
I'd rather be like, I'm going to go get my bag. I'm going to hug my boys. I got to catch a car, to catch a plane, to get to Milwaukee, to get to Toronto.
Process it, you know what I mean? But shit, you're turning around and you're playing against your friends, your brothers, the guys that you've been playing with for years, and just I guess this is kind of heartbreaking too. Vasquez went up to Cora as things were starting to develop. Yeah, and I knew he knew that he was going to Houston. They hadn't officially signed, whatever, and dotted I's, crossed T's. But he's like, "Can I just take batting practice?" And Cora's like, "Yeah, go ahead." So he went out there and he hit batting practice one last time with the Red Sox, and there's pictures of him.
Everybody was sort of confused that enough people knew that when he went out for batting practice, he was getting cornered, and then the news came down, which he knew was imminent, and then one of the publicists, one of the lackeys, came out and grabbed him and walked him back into the clubhouse. But just the whole, and it felt detached, and I think in that moment, all the chatter seems to be that like nobody was on board with that move. I mean, who would be? And oh my God, I love it. He's back. I don't know.
Everyone's saved.
Like, I'm on the struggle bus anytime anyone leaves. Like, I don't want anyone to take off. Like, I'd rather have them take Bergeron after he's gone, dig up his bones and just lace him up, have him skate around a few laps. Like, so for Vasquez to leave, or anybody for that matter, like I was saying, always drives me nuts. I don't do well with that. It felt very detached because you knew that Heim is back at a presser at Fenway.
Right.
He's making the announcement. To your point, Vasquez basically said, just let me go out and take batting practice with the boys one more time. They're pulling him off the field, and everybody's just sort of like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know if that's going to move mountains later. And nobody ever really knows. Like, I remember how emotional we were. I was with Corey. Remember we told the story about the exploding drink on the way out to the Mall of America, that road trip we took? Mm. Yeah, it was that road trip that we were somewhere in the Midwest, and our Nextels were lighting up with the information that Nomar was gone, and the OC was coming in, and we're all like, "What are we doing?" So you never know what tiny little move is gonna be the catalyst. But I don't think they did anything in the last 72 hours. They're gonna be like, "Oh, thank God, here we go. Now we're ready."
No, and that's the thing. Like, and to trade them for guys that are, I mean, they're halfway decent, right? But they're minor leaguers, you know what I mean? They've been lifer minor leaguers. And then Reese McGuire is what he is. He's a serviceable catcher, but he's not what Vasquez is and what he's meant to this clubhouse and to this team for quite a while now.
Right.
But, the Hosmer one for, they got Hosmer, Max Ferguson, and Corey Rozier in cash, which actually quite a bit of cash. The Padres are actually going to pay down a lot of that $44 million. Apparently, they haven't announced exactly what it is, but it's going to be a chunk of change for Jake Rome.
You guys will love this. I reached out to Alex.
on this one because I know people were fired up about Jay Groom going, but I'm like, he's 23, 24 years old. His ERA is still like 3.5 in
Yep.
AAA. Like
Yep.
he's not
I think he's
setting
still
the
in
world
Double A
on
now.
fire. What's that?
I think he's still in Double A.
Is he still in? I thought he was in
been-
AAA. Is he? That's what I mean. He wasn't setting the
like
world
a
on.
cup of coffee with Worcester, but I think they say that he's like barely getting out of Double A after 3 years, or actually more than that. I think they drafted when he was like 18.
Right. So that's the thing. It's like, yeah, he was an early round pick, but he didn't work out. You know what I mean? He just didn't. He wasn't working out. So I think I like the Hosmer deal only because I can't watch Bobby anymore. I love the kid. He's a good-looking kid, but I can't fucking watch him anymore, dude. I just can't.
Well, I reached out to Alex. As you guys know, Alex is the voice of Petco Park. So I
when are we
texted
going to have him on the show?
1,000%, because I texted him. I'm like, dude, you boys just loaded up because they got Soto and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, hey man, enjoy your August, enjoy the run because they're probably gonna get back in there. I mean, I think they're fighting for wild card spot or something. I forget where the Padres are right now.
They're in the wild card, but they're. I mean, no one's catching the Dodgers right now. It's like
no, sure. So I threw that out, and of course he loves doing this to me because he did this with Adazio, because we inherited Adazio from Florida, right? So he was just like, dude, I'm sorry about your new coach, and then he just said. He goes, yeah, sorry about Hosmer, but he's better than what you had. And I'm like, you know what, dude? Whatever. But they loaded up in San Diego.
The Padres aren't messing around.
Unbelievable. So to that point, they were buyers. We get rid of Vasquez. We make some other ancillary moves. I think everybody thought JD was leaving too, which I'm glad he didn't. I don't know what their plan is, and do you feel any more confident that we're going to keep one of the two, or none of the two, or both of the two when it comes to Devers and Rambo, or Zanbo, I should say?
I know that the organization came out, and I think this is just placating to fans so that they can sell tickets for the rest of the year. They said they're keeping both. I don't see it happening. And honestly, if they are going to keep both, I mean, that means like, 'cause I felt like they already told Story that he'd be moving to shortstop anyway.
Yep.
Right. So, and then what does that mean for Jeter Downs and whatever? You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to keep both. I think they try, and they probably will keep Devers. I think Xander's done. I don't think Xander's going to be here. And if gun to my head, if that's like the worst case scenario, I'll take it. I mean, obviously it's not the worst case scenario. You lose both of them,
sure,
which is ridiculous. But I think you got to keep Devers. You really do.
I lost total faith.
Oh. Good night, everybody. Try the veal. Tip your waiters and waitresses. I love all of this.
I don't think they're keeping both of them. It looks like they're definitely as long as they still own the team and they have Heim Bloom. I don't think they're in to spend money anymore. They've had enough World Series championships. They brought us the first one, in our lifetime.
Yep.
They've pleased all the fans in the area. They don't have anything to lose at this point, and now that they just seem to be buying up whatever they can. They pick up the Penguins. They own
Liverpool. Yep.
They have Roush Racing or Roush Fenway Racing.
Right.
So
they are curators of the nicest baseball museum on the planet.
But then, and we talked about this last week too, Billy. Is like, Timmy and I were talking about it. I'm like, okay, then sell. You did what you came to do, Henry, and those guys. And look, God bless them. They did.
Yep.
They got us the rings. Awesome. You did what you came to do. This is no longer your shiny toy anymore. Fine. Sell. Move on, man. Like, just be gracious to the people that, spend $55 on a beer. You know what I mean? Like, let's move along then, and let's get somebody in here that actually wants to see the Red Sox.
They're the most expensive tickets in Major League Baseball.
Right.
Dear Robert Kraft.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that would happen.
No,
I don't see that.
I don't think.
No.
I don't think it works when. It's okay with the Patriots and the Revs because the Revs aren't a major sport.
They're not grabbing.
They want to, but I don't think it works when you have multiple major league sports teams,
No.
you can't put everything into one. You know, if you're really into winning and love it, and you'll spend some of your own money on it. But when you have 4 or 5 different teams, you don't have enough money to throw
Or
into
even like
one and not into the other.
2.
So
Yeah,
I think they need to. Yeah, I would love them to sell the team at now. I know I'm very grateful for what they've done for us, but at
Sure.
this point, it looks like we're, the ugly stepsister at this point.
Christ, Baltimore's better than we are. Which, by the way, talk about a horribly run organization. They actually start playing well. They're out of the cellar, and then
Yep.
they start. Then they are sellers at the deadline. They got rid of Lopez, and I'm missing the other kid. They got rid of
Mancini.
Got rid of Trey
Mancini.
Mancini, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You're
they have
finally playing
horrible
good
owners.
baseball, and you got rid of your best closer you've had since freaking Nam. I don't understand it.
Well, one thing that happened, the Brewers traded their closer, and they're right in the thick of things.
Yeah,
Actually,
Josh Hader,
I think they're in first place in the Central, the NL Central, and they trade their. That was a huge head scratcher. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It was a
I'm
weird
pulling for.
deadline.
Even though
It
I'm
was
not a
weird.
huge Machado fan, I am pulling for the Padres. I like Tatis Jr. And I don't think Soto pulled any punches. I don't think he was like, just trade me. They offered him money. He said no, and they're like, okay, if you're not going to sign for that, then we're going to get rid of you. I don't think he did the team any wrong there. The way he played things out. So
No, he saw the writing on the wall. Washington was going to be trash, and he's like, "I'm out."
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm done. Because they offered him. Billy's right. What do you think? What was it like? They offered him like $300 million or something like that.
I'm looking it up. I
$400
think it was
felt like it was.
400.
I felt like it was. Yeah, it was 440.
Yeah,
I was like, I had
400
that.
million, but it was like over 15 years, so it was like 29 million a year. So it wasn't like the elite talent of of Major League Baseball is earning in the 30s or close to 40 a year. They were giving him longevity.
Yeah, they offered him. I just pulled it up. They were offering him 15 years, 440.
So here's the thing. I think that because these numbers are out of control with these players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think honestly, the upcoming is Ohtani's going to break baseball.
Yeah, they're
What are
talking
they gonna
about him
do with
being the first $500 million man.
Yeah, if not more. Like he's going to make so much money because you look, he's a pitcher and a hitter. He does everything. You know what I mean? So how do you he's just going to break baseball.
Yeah, he's an all-star pitcher and an all-star batter. Yeah. And so what if you were paying each of those? You're paying $30 million plus a year for each of those. So
so he's like, Jesus, I don't even know what. Yeah, that's going to be nuts.
That's why they were actually the Angels were actually kind of shopping him around because they know it's going to be a boatload that he's going to.
Yeah, and they still have to pay Trout. Trout's still making his bajillion dollars that they gave him already.
Big question. I know you're, and I'm also there. I love Vasquez. I was a huge Vasquez fan. Were you? I don't want to trade Al Jefferson for Kevin Garnett back in the day because you had your own already and you didn't want to get rid of him.
No, I don't think I lived on that bus, and I'm probably wrong because I just said to you guys, like I feel like I just get emotionally attached and I hate all the trades. Yeah, I did love Al Jefferson. I don't know if my head was definitely stuck there. I remember thinking, to me, the Garnett get way back in the day was, I remember we were because the Patriots for season ticket holders used to do draft parties. Remember, Scotty? And we go to the draft parties.
Ran over a lady to get a picture of Bill Belichick.
And we're sitting there in the Putnam Club on the carry the 4 divide by 3 the west sideline, and the guy that does John whatever his name is, the guy that does all the announcing, it's another Patriots first down, like that guy.
Oh, that's Sarge Riley.
Oh, I thought his name was John. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Anyway,
because I was just at the training camp on Saturday.
Okay.
The PA announcer was doing it. I forget what his first name, but they call him Sarge. He used to be on 98.5, like a fill-in guy.
Okay, so that guy comes out.
But back then, it might have been someone else.
I feel like it was John something, Nonetheless, he comes out because what they would do is they would bring up, like Tommy would come up and say hi for 3 seconds, and then Bobby Kraft would come up and speak to the crowd. It's all season ticket holders, and Bubba's like, I don't know, I don't know how old he is. He's running around the Putnam Club trying to just touch the cheerleaders. God bless him. And we do have that great picture though. Remember the picture we have with him with the cheerleaders? It's all starry eyed. That might have been that year actually. And the PA announcer at the time comes up and he's like, glad you're all here. Wanted to come up and thank you all for coming out and just wanted to handle something here. We know there's a rumor flying around. And we just wanted to make sure everyone knows the rumors that you've heard about Randy leaving the Raiders and coming to New England are absolutely fucking true. And the place went nuts. He was on a plane. He was on a plane in the moment. Randy was flying out at that point, and the place went nuts. And like to me, when you were talking about Garnett, because they were trying to get enough pieces together, and if we can tell you that Ray is coming, will you come? That it sort of had that same Randy feeling, like there's no way this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I wasn't so attached to Al Jefferson, but I struggle with that we've talked about this with. And one of the things we talked about Bill Russell, like I just adore him that he was always here, and it was a different age, and that argument is really strong too. It was easier to win back then because nobody could move.
No free agency.
Yeah, but now we have the age of these super teams as well, right? So like that's sort of all over the place. But the thing I loved about him, the thing I almost love about Tom, because it's gone now and it will always be gone, is it's the Ray Bork rule. And people that love Ray Bork, and we have one friend in particular who's now an Avalanche fan because he went there for 1 year and became an Avalanche fan after Ray Bork went there for 1 year. You lost me at that. I don't dislike Ray Bork. I love everything he did here. Love all of it. But did he lose a peg in my world because he went out to go get the trophy that he couldn't get here? Yeah, I don't love that. I don't begrudge him of that. But I look at him differently in the Mount Rushmore, the massive Mount Rushmore of Boston sports. He's one of the greats, but I don't have him up there with. But you could argue, okay, well, but you love Bobby Orr, but then he became a Blackhawk. Yes, but that was more the team's discretion than his at the end, right? Yes, I believe, unless I'm crazy. I wasn't his agent, and I don't remember. You know what I mean? So
I believe that's right. I think he went to the Blackhawks when he was old and broken down.
Done. Yeah, and you know what? God bless Ray, but like I don't like, and the whole, you could argue, and it's true, and still annoyed that Tommy didn't finish it here, but like, yeah, he didn't really have a choice, quite honestly, too, because he was getting forced out. But I just feel differently about players that the player that hops around chasing money just doesn't really work out, and big contracts don't really work out. Like I texted my mom because she's a massive Red Sox fan, and I texted certainly a few of you guys when Pedroia got over 100 million. I'm like, we've seen his best days. That like we've never had a baseball player for us get that kind of money, and then it really, really, really works out.
Well, look at Chris Sale's, the latest.
Yeah, there it is. Our latest massive contract. Yeah. So
and that's the thing with the Red Sox ownership. They've so first they wouldn't sign John Lester because he was over 30. We don't sign pitchers over 30 for a long contract. Yep. And then they signed Chris Sale when I think he was 31. They signed him for that contract that he's on right now.
Yep.
The same, they change their mind. They blow with the wind,
Yep.
But now I think they're strictly they want to do the Bruins ownership. We just want to make the playoffs every year, make our playoff money. One round of the playoffs, we'll get our money, and we were right there, but never go all in again.
The most interesting thing, and it will probably happen next year because it didn't happen this year, would be, or did we? I'm losing my mind now. No, we didn't. We didn't go to the Penguins. Penguins got knocked out, right? We did not have a playoff series with the
3 months ago. Jesus.
No, I know, but I'm just like, we did not have a series with the Penguins.
No.
Yeah, that's coming next year.
No, the Bruins got knocked out in the first round.
Yes. Yeah. That's coming next year for sure. That will be interesting because the Penguins are going to come here, and John Henry's going to be sitting in the owner's box of the enemy at the Garden.
Yeah.
And
gonna be
at
interesting.
that point,
The
coming off
February
this
game.
shit pipe season, I know Rubber Shoes loves to change all of his guessing. So what's your new shitty number for the Red Sox? Because I'm sticking on 83, and I'm still going to be wrong because they'll be less than that.
What are they at right now?
Like a showcase
53.
showdown. How much is the sofa?
53 and 53 right
$5.95.
53 and 53 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel confident they're going to have 30 more wins?
I think they got it. Yeah, I was gonna say I can say 15 wins in August, 15 in September.
Are you
Good.
moving into 83rd Street? You can't sit here. That's my number.
That's what I'm saying. You might be spot on.
I'm going to say 81. I'm going to go lower.
Wow, you're
I'm
going
going
to
lower at this
500
point.
ball. 500 ball.
I'm going to say 81, man. They're just. I'm with Billy. I've lost a lot of faith, man.
I do think they have a run left in them. Once they get all their parts here, and once everyone's back, like Rich Hill just came back today. Evaldi looked good on Monday. They got Walker's going to be coming back. They get Tommy Pham has looked pretty good since we got him. And when we actually have a real first baseman, I want to see the parts get together. I know this isn't like an all-in, they're going to win the World Series, but I think they make a push. They're definitely – I'm still saying they're definitely going to make the playoffs, and I can see them being right around 83 now.
The thing is, it is crazy because right now they're 53 and 53 and 3 games out of the playoff spot. Or 2 games out, whatever it is. I don't know the wild card thing. The thing is, like, my biggest thought of, and the reason why I'm actually going lower right now, 3 games out, is they're 12 and 29 against the division, and they have a ton of division games left.
Well, I think that's
20
so. Yes, their record is really bad against them to this point, and I think they have 35 games left against them. But I think they can reverse what they did the first half against them.
So you still have faith. You still got faith.
In April, I got crucified. Now you guys are all skating to these lower numbers, and I'm going to look like the starry-eyed dreamer.
I'm okay. I'm okay with admitting the fact that I was way off on mine. I am fine. I am far from perfect.
Season's not over still, Scotty.
Season's not over. 2 minutes ago, he was moving. He was moving to San Diego 2 minutes ago. Now he's like, season's not over.
I've lost faith in the ownership. I still have some faith in this team as it's constructed right now. I still have some faith that they can be halfway decent.
I appreciate that.
Do I think they're going to win the World Series? No. But get to the playoffs and anything can happen. I mean, last year, did you think they were going to be 2 wins away from the World Series? Probably not. We can go back and look at the tapes.
I love that he had to clarify, only on a New England podcast right now. Would you hear somebody say, do I think they're going to win the World Series? No, we knew that. We know that. Yeah. Thank you for clearing that up, though.
Hey, you never know. I mean, you make the playoffs and, the Yankees get some bad injuries. They've been really healthy a lot of this season with the majority of their team.
Yep.
As we see, you get a hit in the hand with a fastball, and you think you just have a bruise, and next thing you know, you have a fractured wrist, and you're out longer than you thought.
Yeah, gross.
Well, speaking of the Yankees, how gross it is to see Andrew Benintendi as a friggin' Yankee just makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. It's
not great. Not great. Cameron still has the shirt because we used to call him B Nintendo. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
I know Vasquez. There's still a chance we get him back. I know he really wants to come back here, but we'll see because we don't have a catcher.
Who were they?
Reese McGuire was a backup in Chicago.
Yeah. No, my only thought is I'll look it up, but Connor Wong is I know that they had high hopes for him, and if they're going to bring him up, I don't know, but they haven't brought him up yet. Looking at their transaction wire right now, they activated McGuire. They optioned Ronaldo Hernandez back down to Worcester, so he's gone. So it looks like McGuire is going to be their catcher right now, as it stands today. So they have Plawecki and
Yeah.
Wiki and Reese McGuire are the only two right now. So, and then Hosmer and Dahlback, and they did bring back Christian Arroyo's healthy again, so he's back.
Oh, interesting.
See how long that lasts. That's
He's a decent ball player when he's healthy, when he can stay
is.
healthy.
He really
So
is.
he'll
I like him a lot.
He's probably going to be the second baseman going forward.
Yeah.
Unless if Story comes back, who knows what's going to happen with that now. But it'd be nice to have Hosmer is a former all-star first baseman, so he can play the position. He can hit a little bit. We're not getting much more power than we've had there all season.
Yeah.
No. But defensively, he's going to be so much better.
So much better,
so
right?
much better.
He's 31, right? 31,
I don't think I've had a chance to talk with you guys about the guys missing fly balls. Did you guys get a chance to talk about this at all? That last month where Duran's losing the ball in the sky, Franchi Cordero's losing the ball in the sky, Arroyo, who should never ever step foot on the outfield ever again.
Oh.
That guy looked so bad as an outfielder, like he had never played ever in the outfield. He looked lost out there. That guy should never step foot on the outfield again.
Well, and that's why they also announced that JBJ is going to be only a bench player. So I feel like he's going to be like one of those defensive substitution situations late in games and stuff too.
That's what he was supposed to be.
Fom is a good defensive player. What's that?
That's what he was supposed to be the beginning of the season, that he was supposed to be coming off the bench as the outfielder.
Yeah, then Kike has been out for since forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's been the thing, and he hasn't been able to get back healthy. And they've been a pretty hot mess. Like I think to Billy's point, like last year, I think we did they were healthy. Throughout the majority of the season, they were healthy outside of Sale. And this year it hasn't been. I mean, everybody in the starting rotation that should have been in the starting rotation from day one has missed time. Like they've never had a legit starting five in their rotation. They've missed, Devers has missed significant time. Story's now missing more time. Kike's been out, and Kike was such a big part of the team last year. He had a breakout season last year. So, I mean, it's a bunch of excuses other than I'd love to. I do hope you're right. And they have a run in them when they do get a little bit healthier. Rich Hill's on the bump tonight, so we'll see what happens if they can sweep Houston.
He got lit up.
Oh, was that earlier today?
Yeah, they lost 6-1.
Oh, well, there you go.
He didn't get lit out. He gave up 4 runs. It wasn't horrible.
53 and 54.
Oh
no, I think that must have been updated. Because,
53 and 50. Oh, so now as of today's game, okay.
Yeah. As of today's game, 53.
I thought it just wrapped. Oh, okay.
I thought it was tonight, but no, I guess it was earlier. So
Xander Boga's hit a solo homer for our only run.
He'll look great in somebody. He'll look great in pinstripes. It's gonna be great.
They talk about this a lot on the local sports radio shows. When you have a guy who can play in Boston, you keep him here because
he figured it out. He cracked the code.
We've tried bringing guys in, and they can't handle it. Edgar Renteria,
Crawford.
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 Yeah.
It's flat. That's how the dinosaurs get around.
Adrian Gonzalez. Another one.
Yes, Agon. Oh my God. Also
by the way,
from San Diego.
It's funny as Hosmer's going to be activated his first game. I don't think he played today, but his first game that the Red Sox play is at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Meeting them
Full
in Kansas
circle.
City. He wasn't even in Houston today. He's just meeting them there. Yep.
Is he? Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And don't forget, his bride, they're pregnant. Casey Macdonald was at Nesson way back when, and then she went. I think she's now with Fox Business, but she was with Nesson at the time. Do you remember Casey Macdonald, his wife?
I'm gonna
you look her up. Well, and then because I'm thinking it's very much just like different though, because obviously Hosmer wasn't here. Will Middlebrooks and Jenny Dell were always rumored to be on and off, right? And they're a couple now, but yeah. Casey McDonald.
Yes, I definitely remember.
Casey McDonald used to work at Nesson, and then went to some assignment, ended up out in San Diego just because of all the nepotism between the two management groups, and she was out in San Diego, and I'm pretty sure that's where she. What?
He outkicked his coverage on this one. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Casey? Oh, yeah. Well, look, I mean, Will Mitterbrooks is a good-looking kid, but yeah. Really? Jenny Dell? Dear Lord.
Right?
Dear Lord. I'll never forget. We were, Isaiah and I were doing the call-a-thon for the Jimmy Fund thing. We used to go and do the Jimmy Fund thing at the ballpark. Awesome. And we're on a break, and this is when Zaya was doing sales at EEI. And we're on a break, and we're all sort of standing there, and I think Mutnansky was standing there, and one of the producers was sort of talking, and up comes, God bless him, Castigs comes up, and he comes up, hey boys, how are you? Good, awesome, looking forward to the game tonight. And he's just standing there, and then who marches into the circle to put her stuff down, because it was sort of like this little staging area in one of the tunnels where all of the NESN/EEI people were putting their stuff, and Jenny Dell marches in. And she is in a painted pair of white jeans. And we all turned 12 years old because nobody can speak English at this point, right? Because she's just absolutely beautiful. Like she jumped off the bed into these pants, right? Hey, boys. Click, click. She's got like strappy sandals on, clicks into the middle of the crowd. We're all just like, brr, brr. Nobody can make words, right? She puts her stuff down and she walks out and she goes, well, I'm going to go get in the air. And she walks away. The silence to her must have been deafening. And then you have to remember she deals with this all the time because, because men don't know how to react when a beautiful woman walks into the room. She walks away, dead silence, and to this day, one of the greatest moments in sports history at Fenway Park, Castiglione just goes, because she's in white jeans, and she's drop dead. Beautiful. She looks gorgeous. And Castiglione just goes, confident lady. That's all he said. It was amazing. Amazing. And I told that story, and Nathan has grabbed that. So Nate will use that all the time. Like we'll be like traveling somewhere for KW, and somebody will march by, and Nate's just like, confident lady, Oh yeah. And we all lost it. And he just, he verbalized because he's the dean of the Red Sox. He verbalized what we were all thinking. Like, dear Lord, how did you get into those? Confident lady.
But he did it because like so Castig too.
Oh,
like,
he's the greatest.
It's pure class, right?
As much as and it's you forget that he reads it even when we win the whole thing. But one of the saddest things is at the end, if you listen, and it's almost worth doing this now that we know it's probably going to end poorly for us, because we don't know how many more of these we're going to get. God bless Castigs. They named the booth after him. They honored him the other night, 40 years in the booth. Yep. After the very last thing he does at the end of a season is he reads that poem from the former baseball commissioner, and I'm blanking on his name, and it talks about how it starts your spring, it breaks your heart. What's that?
Bud Selig?
No, it's not Bud Selig. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up and tell you what I'm talking about. But
it's the guy before him.
It's well worth. This is great if you're listening and you don't know that we're typing. Here it is.
Bartlett Giamatti?
Bart Giamatti wrote it. Yes. Yeah, and it's just...
My typing was faster than yours.
What's that?
I said my typing was faster than yours.
Dude, of course, when you see me over here.
Big loser.
Yeah, people are in my office when I'm typing. They're like, "You're going to be okay." I'm like, it was made of wood. It was sophomore year, Chelmsford High School. I am like, oh, yeah.
Yep. Still trying to find the crank on the side. Why is the paper not working?
I am 4 words a minute. It's the greatest thing ever.
Oh, man.
It's not actually, but
so
anyway.
Since we're talking about broadcasters, you got any Vince Scully memories from your childhood at all?
I don't really. We actually do have to get Alex on, because I know he's obviously shared a stadium with him insofar as when Vin would come in for the Dodgers, right? And Alex obviously isn't calling the game, but he's doing all the announcements and the batters coming up to the box and stuff like. His Spanish, by the way, Alex, if you haven't seen him, is flawless because he's learned how to trill his R's. That was his one thing when he got the job with the Padres. He's like, I have to get my R's in check, right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I watched a little bit of Unscripted with him on.
Yeah, well, and Yeah, and the other cool thing, if you don't know this, he also is the voice behind all of the stadiums in MLB The Show.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's got the contract for that. So, which is super cool because he actually built in. He threw his name in. So when he builds himself, it's him introducing himself as Alex. Yeah, it's really funny.
He actually did. I told you the story that he sent over a media file that had him announcing Logan. You know, now starting in center field, Logan Duquette. You know, it gives me goosebumps when I hear it. Like Logan gets all he gets all worked up about it. But yeah,
pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. It was
such
a nice.
Try to get him on for a show.
We will get Alex on, the Dean of Baseball. We'll have to wait until after the season. If he shows up with a World Series trophy, we're just going to shut his camera off. It's fine. Yeah.
No. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Well, if we time it right, if I think about it, right, obviously West Coast, if we could get him to do it from the booth.
Oh my God!
Because I'm telling you right now, I know my heart of hearts. I've got one on the other side of my office. He's his announcing mic is the one that we used in radio, the RE20. So I'm sure a couple of flicks of a couple of switches, and if he threw on just a webcam, we could get him do it from the booth.
Yeah.
1,000% get him on because they have a ton to talk. He's got a ton to talk about right now. They have a baseball team worth talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have a baseball team they were talking about from last year where they choked. So I'd love to hear that.
And he also has Don Orsillo.
Yep.
He's up there. He's up there. What time is it out there right now? It's 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Yeah. I don't know if they're home or not, but yeah, he's up there fighting over the hot dogs and lobster rolls with Orsillo. Pre-game. Yeah. God bless him.
So Vince Scully, I remember he used to do the MLB game of the week on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember listening to him back in the day with Fernando Valenzuela. He also had the call for Kirk Gibson's home run off of Dennis Eckersley.
Yep.
And unfortunately, he was the call for Bill Buckner through the legs also for the net. He was the national broadcast for that.
Yeah, that's right. That's crazy.
I love Vince Scully. That his last few years, I would catch because I would have the MLB package, and I would catch Dodger games and listen to him. It was like, he did it all. But he was in the booth by himself. He did it every game by himself.
Yeah, he didn't have a color guy, right?
Yeah.
He did the call and everything. Yeah, which is incredible. I'm remembering the. I'm thinking back to Eckersley getting teed up. And him rounding the fist pump as he's rounding the bases. Yeah. And that was, I think I'm going to be right here. That was 88, correct? I feel like that was like my sophomore year of high school. Am I crazy?
Yeah, probably, because 89 was A's Giants. So that was probably 88.
That was 88. 89 was the earthquake, right? Yeah. A's and Giants.
Yeah, it was 88.
Oh, was the earthquake 88 or 89?
No, 89 was the earthquake. Giants, A's.
October 15th, 1988. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was the Dodgers.
Gibson.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Gibson. Yeah.
88. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, was it somebody's house? Was that? Do you have the? Does it say what day it was, Scotty? The Kirk Gibson. It had to be a Friday or a Saturday. Because I would have never been at.
It doesn't say the day. No.
I would have never been at a house party on a school night. In case my parents are listening, I just remember being at. I think I was at Evan Sheehan's house. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Saturday.
Say that, but
yeah, it was Saturday.
Yeah, it was a Saturday night. Yeah, I was at somebody's house. We were drinking Yoo-Hoos and playing Parcheesi or something. Can't quite remember. But
you were a sophomore in high school?
Ow! Don't do that to me. Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yes. That was like 88. Well, fall of 88 that would have been fall of 88 into spring of 89.
That was my senior year.
That was my junior year. Rubber shoes senior year. Yeah, fall of 88 into spring of 89 would have been my junior year.
Third grade, I think. Second grade.
Stop.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to remember now. I was 8 years old. I was 8. I don't know.
Stop. Look at rubber shoes. Dude, do that again. Turn and look off into the distance like an 80s album cover. That is so heroic, isn't it? It's got America behind him.
Speaking of 80s, either you guys, it's a
playing taps. Go ahead.
That's the first thing that came out as it came to mind. I don't know.
Oh boy. Go ahead.
Either of you went to Stranger Things or watched Stranger Things?
I have not.
Yeah.
So I am caught up. Stand by. I have not started season 4 because I know. Oh no, I know. So obviously,
Phenomenal.
yeah. Aiden and Grace are all about it. Actually, Grace got Aiden into it, so he got caught up, and then she watches it with her sister and her best friend. So he watched it without her. Then she watched it with her people, and then they rewatched it on our trip to Tennessee. And I just haven't jumped in. I know it's phenomenal. I'm bracing myself for a lot of Kate Bush, which it's a great song. And she's not upset that she's making $1 million a day 50 years later.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it, and I sort of know it's there. And like, we live in this age where people aren't bumping into you in the break room at your office or at the printer and like, hey, did you see Seinfeld last night? Nobody's ruining the episode of Love Boat you didn't see, right? So I'm not worried about getting to it because there's sort of a social decorum now that you don't talk to people about shows because you don't know when anybody's watched anything.
Well,
so I'm not in a rush. I know it's there. It's on the shelf. And when I get to it, I get to it. But everybody has said it's awesome.
It's really good. The ending is, especially the ending of the last season, that marathon was unbelievable.
Yeah. The second half, which started 4th of July weekend, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's what we were on the trip to Tennessee then. And Grace was on vacation with us. They were watching it on the road trip. And yeah. And I also know for me, when things get I have like two different kinds of shows that I piece out on. Here comes why I pay my therapist so much. So like The Office, when Michael would make you feel so uncomfortable, there were portions of The Office that I would get so socially uncomfortable for Michael. I know he's a scripted character. This is my manic. I would pause it and have to walk away. Like, oh, I got to finish that later. This is too much for me, right? And when other things just get dark, I don't know if it's been a long day or whatever. So I know that there's portions of that don't get like dark, like I think maybe as a kid might get scared. I'm not worried about getting scared, but I just know there's a lot of heavy. I mean, are you guys watching Euphoria on HBO?
Yes.
My wife did. She's
super, like that's really heavy. That's a very heavy show. And with what you do every day, Rubber Shoes, pulling up to accident scenes and dealing with, overdoses and stuff, like that show's just so heavy. I'm like, I don't know. I can't come home from work and be like, it was a long day. I'm going to have myself a watermelon hibiscus and then watch teenagers, of which I have out in the wild, snort coke off each other's ass and almost die in a laundry room. Like I just like it. There's some heavy stuff going on there. There's a lot going on. It's very heavy. And I haven't meandered through that whole season because it's just dark. I don't know. Like I also very heavy trying to watch the Red Sox at night. There's not a lot of things to do in New England on TV if you don't want to deal with the heavy. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I have not jumped in yet.
Yeah, I was lucky. So my wife, now she's pissed that the new season's not going to be out for like another 2 years.
Of course.
We didn't watch season 3 until 2 months ago. Because she didn't want to watch it and then have to wait for season 4. So we waited till season 4 was actually happening, and then we watched season 3, and then we had to wait another month. So we just finished up season 4 last night.
I'm holding off on 4 for that. I haven't pulled the trigger, pun intended, on the last season of Peaky Blinders because it's depressing to know that. Oh, if you haven't watched Peaky Blinders, push play. My God.
Another good, the gemstones,
hysterical, phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Phenomenal. I'm caught up there, but that's 30 minutes on a Sunday night, which I never get to at Sunday night. I record Sunday night, but that's 30 minutes. Yeah. HBO, hysterical, not too heavy, right? You know what I mean? But some of these.
That show's awesome. It's what was his character in Eastbound and Down?
Oh God, I can't think of the name now. But yeah, he's hysterical.
It's basically he's that character, but
the son of a preacher,
a holy roller.
The son of a preacher. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Scotty. Yes.
The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh God, you'll love it, Scotty. Hysterical.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? There's another one that's. What's that?
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. Yes.
Kenny Powers. Is that who you're talking about?
Kenny Powers. Yes.
Yep.
He's Kenny Powers, but as a as a preacher.
Well, and then he had that other show that was tucked in
loved it.
between. It was The Principal. Was it The Principal?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
There's
one.
another that was good. Also good. Very very similar genre and comedic timing. Really well done.
Yeah.
See, we're planning everything we're going to watch after the Red Sox officially just blow it, and
I was gonna say,
they go 55
No,
and
it'll be
whatever
football
on the
by
season.
then.
What's that?
Football season's finally getting here. I just bought my tickets for the Panthers game. Going to taking
Oh,
the boys
nice.
at the preseason game.
Nice.
Because I'm
Go
still on the
see
wait list.
Baker.
I've been on the wait list since for 10 years now.
Wow. Yeah, honestly, you have been.
No, it's been since 14.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's not too bad. 8. Okay.
No, 8 years. So I use the ticket exchange though, and so I
Nice.
get good seats.
Nice.
We're 3 rows up from one of the end zones. I think it's the north end zone. 3 rows up. So good seats. Good $216 though. You can't freaking beat that for 3 tickets.
Are the girls
Total.
going with you or just the 3 of you? Just the boys?
Bro, just the boys.
Nice.
It's something that it's going to become like a tradition. We went to like a how they do that like scrimmage, that training camp type
Sure.
scrimmage.
Yeah,
thing
the
that they-
Thursday night game
in Gillette
open to
Stadium.
the town.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, we did that last year, and I wanted to see how the boys would, if they were going to dig it or not, and they
Right.
loved it.
Yep.
And so this year, I'm like, let's go to a preseason game, and then next year, we're going big time. So,
Amp them up. Yep.
yeah. So we're looking forward to it. Nathan's already like, he's already, is Baker Mayfield going to play, or it's going to be Sam Darnold? Like, who's going to start? And
Like we
I
all know
already
what's
got a
happening here.
pre-produced logo.
Scotty's going to take a Sharpie and he's going to color in 5 o'clock shadow on the boys, so he can 6 carry back to his seats.
Right, that's right.
Then you have the wife come pick you up.
She would not be a fan
You
of-
should. I'm not even joking, dude. I think more often than not, I know I'm not wrong. The movie theater is typically open.
Yeah,
I don't think they shut it down during games.
the movie theater. What do you mean?
That over in Lot 2, that movie theater there, or have they done away with that? That's not gone. That's still there. There's a
Yeah, it's still there.
I guess I'm
Yeah.
not following what you're saying to take.
you
the
tell Ava and Mom to go to the movies.
Oh,
Yeah, so you can
No,
yeah. I mean,
Ava's
you're
goes
gonna
straight
be at a
on.
game with your boys. I know you're not gonna go sideways, but yeah, you can have a cup of cactinis. That's fine. Some dad juice.
it's all good. No, it's all good. I'm just there to have.
They're
a good
gonna
time
love
with the
it.
boys and stuff. But yeah, they're gonna have a blast, man. They're gonna have a blast. I'm looking forward to it. Really am.
So that's that starts next week. We're not doing Patriots predictions yet.
No, way too early.
But I heard from a little birdie Rubber Shoes thinks they'll have 83 wins. So I'm excited to hear.
Nope.
Yeah. Nope. So we will do that next time.
You're saying under 500. He's under 500, I think.
Yeah.
We're gonna. Oh, I love all of this.
Ah,
He's going low. I'm gonna go high. Okay. All right. Am I gonna be the only 17-0 undefeated? All right.
yes.
Definitely.
Yes. I'm just kidding. So
Well,
we're gonna
Adam
wait.
has no idea about any sport except WNBA, so he might say 17-0.
Oh my God. So angry in his absence. When we do get Dr. DeYoung back, we have to discuss Sue Bird Day. We have to discuss our NFL predictions when Little Shoes and Adam are back. We'll do NFL predictions as well, obviously. And we need to get probably Dugan on the horn to get his predictions, because he's our Vegas specialist when it comes to the NFL. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Letting the cat out, the dog in. What's happening?
Let the dog in.
Oh, the dog in. Okay.
Scratching my door. Stop
All
scratching
right.
my door.
Yeah, we'll do NFL. We'll do the Patriots predictions next week, for sure.
A
Next
couple weeks. We can.
We got time. We got
Oh,
time.
no
to
rush,
discuss.
no
we
rush,
gotta-
no rush.
gotta
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it before
and
wheels
watch.
up. And are we deciding now that we're not doing a fantasy league? Nobody wants to do it.
I would definitely be in. I'm totally in. It's.
We're just not going to do the draft on the air. We're not doing the draft on the air.
Oh yeah, that was a bad idea.
That was a bad idea.
But we could definitely. Yeah, I'm in. I'm sure the league that doesn't matter. That's fine.
Oh,
That's why I said we have to come up with some kind of a prize. There's got to
Yeah.
be a trophy or something.
Yeah.
No money, but
Yeah.
maybe a
Okay.
trophy.
Oh,
And
I will-
You keep
I will-
keep the cup for a year.
I will
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
we
get it
will.
engraved.
We will ramble together some sort of ridiculous trophy for sure.
All right.
For
I
sure.
like it.
All right, boys. So thanks for checking us out. We appreciate you guys. If you are online and you are sharing with your friends, we love that. Comment, hit the subscribe button. Above and beyond all that, don't forget to go to ATB show. We're going to talk about Sue Bird and her final game at Mohegan. And then above and beyond that, we're going to get all of the ins and outs from Alex coming up soon. We're going to get the Padres connection because there's no need to talk about Boston baseball anymore, really. There is, but maybe not, but maybe I'm right. Maybe I love that I was at 83 and I got admonished for that. And now people are like, I'm actually going to go lower than that. So we'll get to all of that. We'll see you guys in and around the internet and definitely here next Wednesday at atbshow.com. Have a great